notice, and this is the typical copyright. We continue with mathematics syllabus for CSEC 2018 to 2027. Schedule of videos, sections 1, 2, and 3. All 51 of these videos have been published in their entirety on YouTube. Section 4, measurement. All 17 of these videos have been completed. 5 have been published in their entirety on YouTube. Section 5, statistics. All 18 of these videos have been completed. 5 have been published in their entirety on YouTube. Section 6, algebra. This is the 13th of 22 videos in this section, and hopefully by mid-September this section would be finished. Then section 7, relations, functions, and graphs, by October 2025, to be followed by geometry and trigonometry, to be completed somewhere in November 2025. And finally, section 9, vectors and matrices, to be completed by the end of this year, 2025. Disclaimer down here, this schedule is just a projection and is not to be interpreted as a contract with anybody. As I just pointed out, section 1, number theory and computation, has 33 videos, and those 33 videos are all published on YouTube in their entirety, especially since this section forms the foundation on which the rest of the syllabus is based. So please make sure you look at these 33 videos and know them very well. A reminder here, you need to know the times tables from 2 to 12, especially since calculators are not allowed in paper 1. From section 2, consumer arithmetic, as I just said, all 12 of these videos have been published on YouTube in their entirety. Section 3, sets, all 6 of these videos have been published on YouTube in their entirety. Section 4, measurement. Out of these 17 videos, these indicated in yellow here have been published on YouTube in their entirety, and these others are only partially published on YouTube. Please see directions in the description below for full access to these videos that are only partially published on YouTube. Section 5, statistics, 18 videos. Again, these 5 indicated in yellow here have been published on YouTube in their entirety, and these others are only partially published on YouTube. Again, please see directions in the description below for full access to these videos that are only partially published on YouTube. And we are now at section 6, algebra, which is made up of 22 videos. Before we go on, recall I said in the introductory video that you will need a good math textbook or a set of 2 to get more practice questions. CSEC recommends the following shown at right. These here. From those, please pay close attention to these last 2 down here, especially since they form a very good 2-volume set of math textbooks that is quite adequate for the current CSEC Math exam. This is a picture of volume 1, Mathematics, a complete course, with CXC questions by Raymond Tulsi. And this is a picture of volume 2. Please note this disclaimer down here. I get no financial or other benefits from the sale of these books. Also, very recently, late 2024, I think, a website with AI interactivity has been made available free of cost that deals with past CSEC Math questions only, specifically from paper 2. You can navigate by topics or years, where all questions for the past several years have been worked out for you. If you still have a question that you need explained, you can ask the AI assistant either by text or voice, and most likely it will be explained. It is extremely important that you become familiar with how CSEC sets its questions for paper 2 and what will be considered good or correct answers to such questions. This is the URL for that website. On the next slide, I will show you what the home page for that website looks like, which is this here. You will have to first register and then sign in. That is the URL again up there. This URL will be in the description of this video below so that you can easily click on it and be redirected to this website. This is a formula sheet that is provided for CSEC Math examination papers. This sheet that you see here on the left. There will be a link in the description below where this formula sheet can be downloaded. This is the top part of that formula sheet, so you could see it a little closer, and we will take a closer look at it later on in this video. Please note that you do not need to learn these formulae on this formula sheet, as this sheet will be provided during the examination. And this is the below part of the same formula sheet. And while you do not need to memorize these formulae, you do need to know when and how to use them. Overview, Algebra, Section 6, Objectives 1 to 4 have been completed in these 4 videos here. Still on Overview, Objectives 5 to 7 from this page have been completed in these 3 videos here. Continuing with Overview, these objectives on this page, all 4 of them, Objective 8 to 11, 8 to 11, have been completed in these videos here. Still on Overview, Objective 12 has been completed in the last video. That's this objective here, that video there. And now we are at Objective 13, this objective here, in video 13. After that, we still have 5 more objectives to complete this section, Section 6 on Algebra. And that will be completed in these 5 videos down here, up to video 22. So we completed up to video 12 in this section. Those that you see in yellow have been published in their entirety on YouTube, and these others only partially published. I'm now at video 13. Once I finish with this, it will only be partially published on YouTube. So we are at Objective 13, and it says, change the subject of formulae. And we have some additional notes. You must include equations involving roots and powers. So change the subject of formulae. Now, quite a lot of mathematics involves substituting numbers in formulae to solve a problem. Consider the rectangle at right. This rectangle here. It has a length, L, of 6 meters and a width, W, of 3 meters. Calculate its area. Well, we learned way back in primary school that the area of a rectangle is equal to length multiplied by width, or sometimes you say breadth. that is a formula that we will substitute the given numbers in. So we want to find area. We know length is 6 meters, width is 3 meters. We multiply those two and we get 18 square meters. Most formulae has this format. One variable is equal to a number of other variables: addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and so on. So that one symbol on the left of the equal sign is called the subject of the formula. So in this case, the subject of the formula is A. What we need to do is to change that A and make L or W the one variable on the left. So we will use this simple formula to explain what this objective means. Now, if you are given length and width, all you will need to do is substitute those numbers in the formula to find A. So its area A is equal to length times width, which is 18 square meters, which was what we just looked at in the previous slide. Area is equal to length times width. As I said, that one symbol on the left of the equal sign is called the subject of the formula. However, if you are given area, say 50 square meters, and width, let's say 5 meters, and asked to find length, you can still substitute in that formula as is and find L. So where A is, you put in 50 square meters, you leave the L there because you don't know it, and you substitute 5 for W, which is width. And you can solve that. However, it is more professional and shows a high level of finesse if the formula is first adjusted to make L the subject of the formula, as in L is equal to area divided by width, and then the substitution follows. There are a few simple rules we need to follow to change the subject of a formula. If the formula has a denominator, cross multiply or use LCM to remove all denominators. That's the first rule. If needed, laterally flip the formula around so the item you want to make the subject is on the left-hand side. For example, in this formula, area is equal to length times width. If you want to find length, you flip that formula around so the left-hand side becomes the right-hand side and the right-hand side becomes the left-hand side. So L times W is equal to A. And then you will add, subtract, multiply, divide, square or square root, inverse the items you want to move from the left-hand side to the right-hand side. In this case, making L the subject of the formula, we divide both sides by W so that L is equal to A over W. If you find this video useful and interesting, please like and share. Like and share. You may also consider subscribing to this channel. You would recall in the introduction to this video, I showed you this first part of the formula sheet that is provided by CSEC for its math examination. This formula sheet is provided for all 3 examination papers, and this is the top part, and this is the middle part of that same formula sheet. You will notice it is called formula sheet and it has a whole lot of formulae. We will return to that formula sheet shortly, but let's first consider some physics formulae to illustrate how to change the subject of a formula. We will begin with example 1, part 1. In the formula, V is equal to U plus AT, change the subject to T. So that's the formula. First thing we will do, we will flip the formula horizontally so the new subject is on the left-hand side. That is to say, this t appears on the left-hand side along with other things. So it becomes u plus at is equal to v. That is the same formula as we had up here. Next thing we will do, we will subtract u from both sides so that it will show on the right-hand side only. You know how to do this by now. We subtract u here and u there. That will get rid of the positive u on that side, and we are left with at is equal to v minus u. Next, we will divide both sides by a so that a will remain only on the right-hand side. So you divide both sides by a, that a reduces that a to 1, and you are left with t is equal to v minus u over a. So you have just changed the subject of the formula from v to t. Now if you are given v, u, and a, you could easily substitute and get an answer where time is in seconds. T is equal to v minus u, do that first, divided by a.